Hello and welcome to this edition of Kpsn. It hasn't been the best week of weather for our spring athletes, but our King Philip ground crew has done an excellent job of keeping our fields and courts in top shape between the raindrops so our teams could take care of business in a number of big games this week. The baseball team has had a very busy week with several tough matchups, and they have an even harder week coming up facing both Mansfield and Franklin, and their senior night against the Attleboro Blue Bombardiers is coming up a week from today. Our pitching staff is having an excellent season, and that includes sophomore star pitcher Nate Panini, who's proving he's a force to be reckoned with, having a record of 3-0.
All right, last week we had a really good week, going undefeated 3-0. Big game to put us up. Now we're ranked number 4 in the D2 in the power rankings. Hoping to go higher and have a good week this week.
The team handily beat Can on Wednesday, showing the power of their bats with a 9-2 victory. They're looking to catch a couple more wins next week to move up from the 4 seed to the 3 seed. Last night, the boys had a Hockomock Division game at home against the defending MIAA Division I champions, the Taunton Tigers, with ace Rudy Gately on the mound. Today, the team will host a strong Braintree team with something to prove. If you remember, last year they fell to Braintree 5-4 after a walk-off single. The boys look to bring heat with Max Robeson starting on the mound.
Maybe eat up 4 innings, because last year, me and Tommy McLeish had a combined 6 innings, 2 runs against Braintree, so hopefully we can get another one of those good games. Got to stick to a nice 2-seam fastball.
We got Braintree tomorrow too. It's a Roby shove day, so auto dog.
All right, how's the batting practice going right now?
Pretty awful, the balls are waterlogged. And it's just hard to hit them. I don't know.
Thanks,
see.
Andrew.
Yeah.
After defeating North Attleboro 3-0 in a hard-fought 8 innings last week, our softball team faced their hardest challenge yet, Kelly Rex leaders, the Taunton Tigers. The Tigers and our Warriors have been the 2 runaway leaders of the season, outscoring their opponents with a combined 227 runs. In what could be looked at as the biggest game of the season, our Warriors trailed 3-0 going into the final inning before loading the bases and getting 1 run back, but fell short with a final score of 3-1. The teams will meet again on May 22nd at the PAL, and our girls say they will put the past behind them and will be ready to give the Tigers a strong challenge as the teams battle out for the top of the Hawk.
First inning was the toughest inning. We gave up a 2-run home run. They took the lead kind of early, and it took us a little bit to fight back and work back. Our bats, we were right on her, but our hits, we just hit them right to the players in the field. Later in the game, there was another home run that we gave up, and it was 3-0. The last inning, we started to rally back and put pressure on them. And I think that's when we realized we can take them and handle them. We just got unlucky with a call. There was an infield hit that the first baseman came off the base, but the umpire called her out. So that was rough. That kind of took momentum away from us. So the pitcher for Taunton, she's a pretty good pitcher. She's going to Texas Tech. We handled her really, really well. We went into the game wanting less than double-digit strikeouts, and we did that. She only struck out 9. We got 4 hits off of her. I think the next time we play them, she's going to have to work a lot harder to keep us from doing what we normally do and getting hits, because we were right on her. So we had McCoy, our freshman pitcher, on the mound. This was one of the first big game she's had to play against a really good lineup. 1 through 9 for them is really good, and she did a good job. She had 10 strikeouts, only allowed 4 hits. It's unfortunate 2 of the hits were home runs, but besides that, she battled. She really battled. I think just recognizing where we went wrong in certain aspects of the game and going in the next game with more confidence in ourselves. I think it was a little bit nerve-wracking going up against the pitcher for that team, just because she's going to a big school, but we kind of found out that she's not as big and scary as everyone expects her to be. We were right on her, and I think this next time we're not going to be afraid of anyone, and we'll show them who we really are as a team. Well, the way we are, we had a silent bus ride home, and it didn't really sit well with us. I think we're gonna use this as motivation. We're saying it's a chip on our shoulder now. We have an edge on them that they don't have. There's no one that's testing them. And the next time we play them, they have to come to our field and face us, and hopefully by the time that game comes around, they're not gonna know what hit them.
Today they look to bounce back from their first loss of the season against Foxborough. Our Warrior boys lacrosse team is looking very solid for a nice seeding in the MIAA Division II playoff bracket. The Warriors are paired with the Franklin Panthers in first place for the Hawkmark League title right now, and the battle for the top will go down next Friday on the Panthers' home turf. Our offense got plenty of work in, beating the Taunton Tigers 20-0 at home on Wednesday, and last night the team traveled to Bridgewater Raynham for another big matchup. Now the boys are focused on a solid weekend of both practice and rest before they take on Attleboro at home on Monday, and another duel against the Red Rocketeers on the road on Wednesday. These are two beatable teams, however, the team knows they have to be on top of their game and laser focused in order to win. With the heart of the season coming up next week, our boys are going to need some hype from the stands, so get out there and support for the boys, especially the seniors, giving it their last shot to take down the biggest competitors in the Hawk, the Franklin Panthers.
We're Jack Bethune, defensive mid for the lacrosse team. Playoffs are coming up, season's almost to an end. How are we feeling?
I think playoffs is going to come down to if the defense can work together to, minimize the amount of goals, and if the offense can put as many goals in the back of the net as possible. Going into some non-league games, I think those are going to be the most important to making our playoff run the best.
The girls lacrosse team is gaining some big momentum as they continue to power through this challenging week. On Monday, they hosted Oliver Ames, beating them 19-1. Freshman Warren O'Bara found the back of the net, recording her first varsity goal. The girls traveled to Taunton on Wednesday, hoping to secure another in-league win, and they did just that with another huge offensive show, winning 20-1. Many of the girls had breakthrough moments in their career. There were 18 different goal scorers in the win, 8 of which scored their first varsity goal. Early last week, Mackenzie McDevitt reached a career milestone of 100 draw controls, and to top it off this week, she scored her 100th career point against Taunton on Wednesday. Congratulations to Mackenzie on this achievement, and good luck to the team as they face Attleboro and Weymouth next week.
So we had a lot of energy because we were up by multiple goals. And we had a lot of first-time goal scorers, like me and Sierra. And during our last game against Taunton, we had most of the team.
19 different goals.
19 different goal scorers.
It felt really good considering that we're both defenders and we don't really get a lot of chances on the net, so it felt good.
We had a couple losses. We realized what we need to work on more. We've worked on it and definitely improved on a few things.
Yeah.
It's nice to see our hard work pay off.
The boys tennis team is struggling a bit with a record of 2-6. On Monday, they took their 6th loss of the season against Bishop Fien with a close score of 3-2. Yesterday, they played the 2-6 Taunton team and were counting on a win. The boys are still hopeful for a chance at the postseason, and hopefully they will do well against Mansfield on Monday. There is still a chance for them to make a huge comeback. We are rooting for you.
Today we have a big Canton game. Canton's our rivals. Last year we beat them, surprisingly. Their best 2 players are also the best 2 players in the Hawks, so it's not looking good for our best 2 players, but I think we have a real shot at beating them. Last year we beat them using our doubles, and this year I think we can do the same.
It's going to be pretty good, and our captains are here today. No AP exams today, which is good. So yeah, we're going to have all our players locked in, and we're going for a win.
The girls tennis team is having a great season and are 5-2 and are looking to hold up this pace through the end of the season. They had a tough match against Bishop Fien this week, losing with a score of 5-0, and the team was hoping to get a win against the Taunton Tigers last night. and they will take on Canton this afternoon at home. Get out there and show your support for our girls. The match starts at 3:45.
Our Kingfield track teams had their 4th dual meet of the season against Attleboro this week, with our girls team coming out of the meet with a big victory. However, the boys fell short. Despite the rainy weather and poor conditions, on Tuesday, our athletes gave their very best effort to score points and fight for a win. The teams have one more dual meet next week against Milford at home before the championship meet later this month.
I'm here at Attleboro High School. How's the meet going so far?
It's pretty wet, you know? It's a little wet. Me and Kyle here. Kyle just got first place for the 100 meter.
You did?
Yep.
Did pretty well shot put. Not good in the 400.
Yeah,
Pretty good
okay.
triple jump. Second place.
It's like, oh,
Yeah.
congratulations.
Thank you.
That's really nice. Sean Woods, everybody. Thank you. I'm here with Danny and Cheyenne. How did the race go today?
It was good.
It was
It was good.
What was times?
I got 2:25.
25, okay.
2:39.
2:39. Was this first and second?
Yep.
We're up.
I think I did good in the hurdles. I PR'd, which was I was happy with that. And in long jump, I actually PR'd too.
Our season's 1, 2, and 1. We're doing okay. We just had a pretty bad loss against Attleboro, but we're like trying to get back and recover for our meet against Milford next Tuesday.
Coach Burdos has been pushing us real hard in practice.
Oh yeah.
Making us ready for that meet, so we're ready to go crush it.
The boys varsity volleyball team has just 7 games left in the regular season and have high hopes for qualifying for the postseason. The team will play at home this afternoon against Dighton Rehoboth. Next week is going to be a challenge, starting with Bellingham on Monday, a team that has already proven to be a great matchup for our Warriors. They will also have Norwood on the 10th and Taunton on the 12th, which has been their best opponent yet. In practice, the boys have been working on a wide variety of skills and techniques, and are really focusing on teamwork and making sure they are patient in setting up their heavy hitters for success.
The President's Cup curse is struck once again. After setting multiple records in the regular season, our Boston Bruins had a devastating loss to the Florida Panthers in the first round of the playoffs. Bruins fans are still shaking their heads in disbelief that this all-star team couldn't get past round 1. The guys were out-coached, but they also played sloppy the whole series, continuously turning over the puck. Many are criticizing Coach Jim Montgomery for playing Linus Olmark 6 games in a row, even though he was battling injury, and breaking a pattern that served them well during the regular season, alternating him with a very capable Jeremy Swayman. Ultimately, there were a lot of mistakes made, and what's done is done.
This one stings. 3-1 lead, lost 2 games at the Garden, including Game 7. Both went to overtime, but you know, as I say, all good things come to an end, and happen too early.
After a historic season, 65 wins, 108 goals, and that's how you go out.
We went all in for this year, had a great regular season, and just like that, first round.
Part of this is on Jim Montgomery. Allmark was clearly injured after Game 4, and he kept him in. And we saw the top 10 goaltenders are back up, yet he didn't put him in. Our players played like it was a preseason game. Nobody wanted it.
I'm speechless. After the season, they had one of the best teams in history, like literally the best team in history, best record, and your first round exit.
It very well could have been the last time we ever see Patrice Bergeron and David Krejci on the ice. Both players are contemplating retirement, and it would be tough to see them go in such season-ending disappointment. The Bruins are in a horrible spot, having $4.5 million in cap penalty. That means you might have to get rid of one of our newer additions. Dmitry Orlov or Tyler Bertuzzi could be released in the offseason. Meanwhile, there are still 8 teams remaining in the playoffs, and it's just so hard to accept that our history-making team let it all slip away so fast. Boston fans shifted their focus to the Celtics, who rolled into round 2 with a 4-2 series win over the Atlanta Hawks. The C's are playing the 76ers in round 2, a team that is out for revenge after last year's elimination against the Celtics. Boston fans were looking for star player Jason Tatum to lead the team, but on Monday night he came up short. It was more disappointment as the Celtics lost Game 1, 119-115 at the Garden, having made a number of big mistakes. And the Sixers were without their star Joel Embiid for that one. Tuesday was a really rough day for Boston fans, as it seemed like choke city instead of championship city. The Celtics knew going in they had to play efficient and innovative basketball to stay in this series. And on Wednesday night, they went back out on the parquet in what felt like a must-win situation. Embiid was back on the court for the Sixers, but it didn't bother the C's. They hit 23-pointers in that game and came out with a commanding win, 121-87. Jaylen Brown said they just need to take more pride in themselves, and hopefully that 34-point win will give them some solid momentum as they head to Philly for Game 3 tonight.
Big win for the guys. Game 2 at home, we needed it. Tied the series up 1-1. I don't think Joel Embiid's that good.
I got Celtics in 5. You know, we won by like 50 or something. You know, we just looked dominant. You know, if we can keep that going. Embiid's overrated, so I think Celtics in 5.
So gonna take a 1-1 series, going into Philadelphia. You know, Joel Embiid is coming back, but like we have Rodwell. Rodwell can stop him. We've seen it before. You know, we're gonna dig deep here and we're gonna get this win.
Yeah, I think this was a statement game for the Celtics, and they proved their point. They're in it to win it.
Nice end to the game, 34-point lead. Brogdon really came through with the 3.
I think it's going to go Game 6. I think we'll figure out what we need to do. We'll take one of theirs in Philly and then close it out.
When the NFL draft ended, many teams walked away with what they believed to be the future of their franchise. Going into draft week, the New England Patriots drama was at its height as leaks about trading Mac Jones, getting DeAndre Hopkins or Lamar Jackson, and all sorts of other stuff was flying through sports talk. By the end of the first night, it was clear the team was going defense first and will be running a nostalgic short pass offense and shutdown defense of the early Patriots dynasty. The Patriots traded with Steelers to gain a 4th-round pick, and that let the Steelers steal a player from the Jets. 3 picks later, the Patriots scooped Christian Gonzalez, a corner out of Oregon, who many say will be the next Stephon Gilmore or Richard Sherman. The Patriots stayed on the defensive side of things for most of their picks, getting some defensive line and backer depth, and offensively drafting only 1 center and 1 receiver in later rounds of the draft.
Patriots 14th pick, you know, we go in think we're gonna get a receiver. And then all of a sudden it gets to our pick, trade comes in, we trade to Pittsburgh, got 4th-round draft pick and move back 3 spaces. Pittsburgh goes right in front of the Jets, takes the player the Jets were going to pick. They show the Jets draft room and everyone looks in like depressed and stuff. And then the Patriots go out there and pick Christian Gonzalez, a cornerback out of Oregon.
Yeah, after all that, you know, Patriot fans thought wide receiver was going to be a move that we were going to make, but cornerback out of Oregon, I think that is going to be an asset towards him.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly was hoping for a receiver like JSN, you know, like we had all sorts of receivers visit us over the offseason, and Juju Smith-Schuster is not enough to help this team, especially against offenses.
He's just going to be dancing the whole time.
Yeah, honestly, like he's going to be TikTok dancing in the locker room when we're like warming up. But honestly, Christian Gonzalez is a great pick. I think we could have gotten him a little later, but he was still a steal. He's taller than 6 feet, which none of our DBs are right now, so like I'll take it.
Yeah. The Patriots had a pretty strong draft, and it looks like they will be banking on Mac Jones to lead the team to success with the offensive weapons he currently has. The team is starting their offseason program, and they need all the prep they can get to deal with Aaron Rodgers, Josh Allen, and the Tyreek Hill Dolphins. The AFC is going to be an elite division, but offense only sells tickets, defense wins championships. And that's our broadcast today. Seniors, this is the final home stretch of your King Philip career. Give it your all, and we hope to see you out there cheering them on as they enter the mid-season of their final show in the green and gold. Have a great weekend, Kpsn.